do with the rest of the books in the Old Testament I haven't talked about? Those books are called the writings. And those books leave us going, here's how to live today. Because we left the prophets looking for that prophet like Moses, who was going to do something incredible, and we're waiting for him. And while we wait, we need to know how to live. And the writings talk about what life is like. For example, it starts with Psalms. And Psalms is filled with prayers and praises and worship and laments. It's somebody's actual prayers and songs written to God. So you'll read ones that are just joyful and worshipful, like Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. And that's one, if you have it memorized and you see something like at night when the stars are out, or maybe you live where there's northern lights like I used to, and it's just so beautiful. That's something you could just say. There's also Psalms that are filled with just agony and despair. That's what Lamentations is all about too, is the agony, the despair that's going on at looking around at stuff. Then there's questions like, what do I do when I'm working for someone who's not a Christian? What do I do when my life is filled with people who aren't following God? Well, we have Esther and Daniel's examples, and they both handled that situation differently. Esther kept it hidden. She remained kind of secret and quiet about it. But Daniel was outspoken and bold, and everyone knew it. So we can watch both of their lives and see what God's doing. Or you have Job. Here's a man, a righteous man, who suffers. What does he do? How does he handle it? What questions did God answer to Job? And I hate to tell you, there is no answers God gave Job. Because if we look at Proverbs, that book of wisdom, talking about here's how to be wise, here's how to choose wisdom, here's what you're pursuing. You would like to think everything goes perfectly, but it doesn't. And Ecclesiastes reminds us, it doesn't always work out that way. Job reminds us that. So as you're reading through the writings, ask yourself, how is this helping me today? What questions is it answering for me today? What encouragement is it giving that other people have gone through something similar? What did they do that was a good idea? And what did they do that maybe I shouldn't do? Learn from their mistakes. So as you read through those books, the writings, it starts with Psalms, and then sometimes the writings can change a little bit in their order. But what I like is the one that has, after Proverbs 31, that amazing woman, you have the story of Ruth. You get to see an amazing woman in action. And what does she do? That wise woman in action. But the writings ends with the book of Chronicles. And the book of Chronicles reminds us, hey, while you're waiting, don't forget, we are waiting for that prophet to come, that Messiah to come. So then as you look forward to and go, okay, read the New Testament now. Am I going to see that Messiah, that prophet come that the Old Testament has been talking about? Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you next time.